Alright, welcome back everybody to Dragon Ball Z. I believe I just sold most of our junk. Maybe I still have some things to pass on here. Got a nice bow for him done. Finally use this. Nice. This I'm gonna give to someone. Maybe even better than what he's got. Critical chance lower. Burn penetration's higher though, so it's arguably better. Since he doesn't have the cunning to make his criticals worthwhile, you know. Strength modifier's better. Same time. Yeah, okay, he's taking this. Fox's bow, that can go to someone else. If anyone. Keeper staff to look at. Real cool, real cool.
On it.
I guess we're gonna stop at the camp first, and then, all that we really have left is this. Village of Haven. Looking for the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Ooh. Right. The end of that last encounter, she collapsed.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
But you're Zambo?
No, I'm not undead. If I were a possessed walking corpse and could still think, I'd kill myself. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
Huh. Her experience sounds kind of similar to the dream Liliana had, doesn't it? Maybe that's just what it looks like when the Maker intervenes. I guess you could say that's similar to how Inquisition starts as well. You're in some kind of nightmare escape, you're about to get eaten, and then the lady appears, she's like, hey, take my hand. Then you wake up, and you got your spooky Inquisitor man brand. Yeah. Obviously, she made a pact with a different spirit, but still. I just noticed that. Wow, what a story, Mark.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
No surprises there. I don't know, let's make the best of that time then, yeah.
Yes, that we will.
Just don't go dying on me in the middle of a boss fight or I'd be super pissed.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
Whoa. You know? Nah. I want everybody.
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Alistair is a fine lad, skilled in battle, but quite inexperienced when it comes to affairs of the heart. I would hate to see him get hurt.
Bitch! You're not worried about me getting hurt?
I am worried about you both. There is great potential for tragedy here. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
I think the choice is obvious. Everyone else, right? What else to do? Tell him to get out of here, or he's too handsome.
You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on.
Ah. And it's gonna get hurt either way, like, they're gonna lose me traumatically, or he's gonna think I'm a bitch. So, nah.
I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Glad she wasn't hurt when I said that. What I wanted to do was check her character sheet, because maybe it happens in a random encounter. Spells and tactics. Wynne actually has a unique character ability called this, under plot. Yeah, now she's told us about this spirit. She can do this. I don't entirely remember what it does. When disorients nearby enemies for 6 seconds with a release of energy, restoring 50% health and mana, earning a bonus of N plus character level to spell power, and 4 mana regen. However, once she deactivates the ability, or after 6 seconds with automatically, she is stunned for 10 seconds and suffers penalties, movement, attack, and defense, and 50 fatigue for seconds. With a Naren's token equipped, the initial Dage effect is changed to knockdown if enemies fail a physical resistance check. Receive any dead party member, 5 party members in 5 meters, while healing all party members 10 meters for a lot. And then are completely restored while spell power and then doubled. Stun penalty when weakened is also removed. So, a Naren's token? I'm not entirely sure what that is. I wish this wasn't called sustained ability if it just disables after a minute of use. Why isn't it the buff? I'll put it right here. Basically, it just turns her into a super mage, just a big heal. And then she's weak once it's over. So it's probably more like an end of fight kind of thing. Maybe she's running out of mana. A couple of our guys are down. Aaron's token. I think I have anything like that. Yeah, I sold it. Spell Pike. I don't want her going into melee range, despite this maybe having good bonuses for her to just have. Let's keep her staff though. What's in mind? Better armor penetration, better damage, better range by a lot. Spell power a lot stronger. And regen combat. Does nature damage. Isn't necessarily good though. I'll clip it. I might hold on to this in case it's an issue with the nature damage, but it seems like it should just be better all around. I really need her to do damage past this. Free. What's Morgan got? Hers is better in some ways. Worse than others, but considering that I want her to be a damage dealer, she should probably keep the one she has. Juggernaut. Who will get that? Five armor, bring it to full 23. Is less than what I've got, but is every. I don't know if I want it, but maybe better for stem. Physical resistance is something you build up naturally with your constitution and strength stats. I feel like once you're in the end game, it's kind of useless to have additional bonuses to that. And this is probably better for him. Plus, look how shiny it is. What sound was that? Dodge attack. Now those boots are stacking. As are those gloves. Determine that the set bonus really it doesn't mean much. So we don't have to worry about that at all. Four armor and metal. Probably work for than armor, honestly. Take it. Give the helmet panel to someone else. First robe. Ah, sick. Doesn't have the healing effects thing, but she doesn't have health, so it doesn't really matter. Lucky. I still have no idea what that means. I feel like she probably gets to use her ice spells safely more often. Fuck it. Never end. Stamina, health. Pretty good. 10 armor? This is... E 8.5. And whatever. Take it. Take as ever. Look how put together you look now. This is pretty good. Antivian longbow's better in ways, but it doesn't have rune slots, but it's also maybe not going to use. Not critical chance you can take advantage. And don't I have a gift for him? Gifts to him. This one.
Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for?
So you can jerk off in peace.
I did not mean to sound ungrateful, it is just... Wait, these are Dalish, are they not? My mother was Dalish, and had a pair very similar to these. The leather was less thick, and it had more embroidery, but these are very close, and quite handsome.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Do I seem surprised? Perhaps I am. Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
Yep. The perks of being my manslave. So I believe that added those gloves to my inventory. Or maybe auto-equipped them. Yeah, just put them right on. Improves backstabs, but it seems like they're overall worse than what he had. I'll just sell his gift. A couple other things. I don't know what we could do with that scroll. I think I tried giving it to Alistair. Sten would want it. Eyeball. He likes fancy things.
How nice.
How nice. It's close enough. Skyball, you're a witch. You like stars, right?
Interesting.
Okay. And you like beery dwarf.
That looks fine indeed.
Pick on enchantment.
Enchantment? Enchantment!
Oh, da da do. Think better. Journeyman pair. I know I gave him this nice bow and all, but it's probably better for him to just keep his shield out so he can get his aura bonus. Yeah, whatever. Just give those runes away for experience. And I believe you have an elf now who make some of our plants. I think specifically the elf and death fruits.
Let's get started.
As material all for deep man. I hate to just give all, because these are crafting components that you use for your potions and stuff, so why can't you just give some of them? The gems are effectively useless, right? That's fine to give them all. And the runes, it's like annoying, because you know, you can't just drop things on the ground, you have to destroy it. Unless you want to stick to stuff that you want to keep in your stash, you just gotta get rid of it all here. Guess you could trade it with Bowden. Just only give one stack. Pretty sure I've got 2 stacks of elf fruit. I probably should have held on to that expert frost serum, but whatever. I think everyone's got pretty good equipment.
We are better with every step
swapping it
you
out
take.
too much anymore. Coincidentally, I believe a lot of the loot in this next area is for the spell sword class. Not that Wynne would be able to use it really, but it's strange the order that we did that. I have a feeling if we talk to Alistair, he's gonna try and do it right, Ogren? Yeah, I have a feeling he's gonna try and do the do. He'll hold off on that.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Bring our A-team with us. Oh wait, I gotta sell the rest of my junk. What was I saying? Right.
You and your friends
so,
are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on. I'm sure you'll be
as far as the sexy cutscenes go, I think that they were pretty graphic for the time. Definitely more so than Mass Effect. Maybe not to the level of Mass Effect 2, or like on par with that, I guess. There is no nudity in the game. Everyone keeps their underwear on, which makes things a little weird. It's cinematography to hide that stuff. Which I guess means it's fine to show, right? Probably. That said, I do have to go through with it for story stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not officially in a relationship until you've slammed. So it's kind of important. What did Shale need to equip that fire crystal? Still holding on to it. 38 strength. Got levels. Oh, that's it. Julio. Uh, Week 2. No pounds guaranteed. Damn. Balance. Attack also slowed briefly. Bonus move speed while suffering greater penalty. Polarizing. Whoa. Well, it's easy to tell what that does. Doom Guy's Blood Punch. Alright, I guess we're good. We're going into the next area.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
You know, on second thought, I think I gotta close the deed with Alistair now, because we're about to make a pretty evil decision. For power. We're gonna try and get the Reaver class, which is another one of the more difficult things to do. And it's not difficult, you just gotta make a bad choice, which I think most people wouldn't do. Because for the most part, their choices have all been gray. Electing Prince Balin was probably one of the more controversial things I did this playthrough, but I was able to justify it, I feel. Now, I realize you literally just have to taint a holy artifact, which, like, unless you're, like, super pro-atheism or whatever, you can't really justify doing that. It's pretty horrible. It's just evil. So, needless to say, a lot of the party members disapprove of that.
Your desire is my command.
That's
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
trying to eat, trying to do the thing.
Join you? In your tent?
Yeah, the tent, even though I sleep on a bedroll out in the open every night. I have a tent. Promise. Nervous.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be nervous. It's not like I don't want to. I must sound like a fool. You know that I've never done anything like this. With anyone. I was quite sheltered after all. I care for you so much. Whenever I think of this, I feel like a bumbling idiot. All hands. I wish I could be better at this. I want it to be right.
All hands. I think this is as right as it gets, my guy. Go.
With the Darkspawn on our heels, death awaiting us at every turn? Sure, why not? Hot. I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot, if you are.
Give it a shot. Right on my tummy.
Right. I'm going to stop talking now.
Okay, handsome. The song sounds like it's from a different game. Really, it's kind of out of place compared to the rest of it. Where the horn's at.
You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now.
Yeah, I really don't understand why a church is always like sex is bad. Do they not realize that's how we live? Not for that performance. It still happened, my guy.
Sure. But if you get hit by the lightning afterwards, it hardly seems like an effective deterrent. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right? They do that.
Yeah, well, I'll let them watch next time.
Oh, sure, now you say that. By tomorrow, it'll be icy glares and awkward silences right before battle. Just you watch. So, what now? Where do we go from here?
Well, we did everything. Never have to talk to you again. Kidding.
Right, I can handle that. I hope. Before we go, I just want to thank you. No one's ever made me feel this way. I wasn't sure it could happen, in fact.
No need to thank me. I know I'm amazing. Mostly did this to spite Wynne, since she just told me to break up with you.
I did, actually, but let's get moving.
First can I get? Alright, well, we did that. I only realized this the other day, but music for this whole playthrough's pretty loud, hasn't it? Probably turn it down a bit. I already did, but for like 6. It's possible that I was just talking pretty quietly in the episode that I was doing. And I know it's definitely clearer on the microphone and all, but still, the battle music's just really loud. It's always been that way.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now I think about it, I think that's maybe like what the menu of Divinity 2 sounds like. Eco Dragoneth, I mean. Hero Jank action RPG. Nobody played, but you get to turn into a dragon. How cool is that? Oh my god. This is how I'm supposed to learn about her new ability, I guess. Vessel of the Spirit, Spirit of Vengeance, Nicolas Cage.
Let's get started. Time for a little cleanup.
Wow, everyone just got dagged. Ow.
I go.
Hey, we're not gonna win this, right? That's very obvious. Just reload. Right, so
This should be easy
speaking
enough.
Yes.
Nick Cage,
Yes.
I read that there are like rumors going around that he's gonna be in the next big Marvel movie as someone. Now, I made a joke a while ago about how, you know, since they wiped out half the world and a lot of different heroes with the Thanos snap in the last movie that I didn't watch, that, you know, we could just have Ghost Rider go into hell and bring everyone back, even though it was low-key an excuse for everyone to retire. I don't think that Iron Man wants to be his Iron Man anymore, and Captain America doesn't want to be Captain America anymore. Anyways, I just thought it was funny how, like, maybe a month after I first made that joke, the rumors started going around. You know, obviously he could be a different character, because I don't think the Ghost Rider movies did very well. A lot of people probably didn't even watch them. So they could just recast him. Part of me just wants it to happen. He's a cool hero. I just feel like he's pretty out of place with the rest of what Marvel is. Jeez, man. I need to use the smite on the mage right away. That's that, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
No disrespect to Mr. Cage, though. I think he's wonderful.
As you wish.
Yes, he is in a lot of crappy movies, but I think that's not his fault. I mean, it is, because he spends all of his money and he's an idiot, but as far as acting goes, I think that he's trying. He's doing what he can, but like the scripts for the movies that he's in are just bad, because he's taking every role. And you know what? We get some wonderful tragedies, so it works out anyway.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action! Weapons at the ready!
Holy shit, there's reinforcements. Did he kill the mage? Didn't he? Work? Shit. I'm actually mad that you walked so much not right happening. Back on. I should probably bury yourself.
They'll never know what hit us! Let's make this quick!
Dog alive? Can dog howl? Something like that. We should all back up some.
Yes!
This is salvageable. People just play smart.
Need help?
This right here. AoE does some damage. Ow.
Make it!
I think I just need to go to save first. split shot. Having some bag.
Yes! Here comes trouble! I never liked this part. Down with you!
Alright, we got it.
As nimble as I was.
Never underestimate the mages. I think that they're arguably a lot more powerful than anything else in the game. I think the last time I made an arcane warrior for myself, I was like a one-man army. I didn't even worry about my party members. I just, like, my spells covered up the whole battlefield, so I just killed them all.
Come and get it! Let's get started. I never liked this part. As you wish.
And it's not like mages are, like, restricted by their equipment either, because you can equip anything in this game. Of course, the things that are made specifically for mages. Like, you can be a tanky mage, if you...
That was interesting. And draining.
What was that? Did you summon the spirit of vengeance?
I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
Yeah, well, I hope your rash goes away.
Anyway, I feel quite all right now. And it seems that my little trick could be useful in a pinch.
You know you.
I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
Okay, well, won that. I thought it would take us more than 2 tries. It did. It's 3. But, you know what I mean. Got through that quick and easy. Proud.
Yes.
Ask me anything.
Oh. Right, onward. So, this coming area starts off with a bit of dialogue, and then it turns into a big dungeon, kind of like the one we were just in. Like, it's the Winter Ruins. So, it is kind of long, but I feel like we might be able to get through all of it in just this one session. Yeah, assuming that we don't get
What are you
stuck anywhere
doing in
for
Haven?
long.
There's nothing for you here.
I have business here, man.
No, you do not. I would have been informed if someone was expecting a visitor.
I like your armor. Is Jenna TV? You recognize that name from forever ago?
Who? Perhaps revered Father Eirik will know of whom you speak. Unfortunately, he's ministering to the villagers at the moment and cannot be disturbed.
Revered
Oh,
father?
you couldn't go to church?
I've never heard of this.
It's always been thus in Haven. We do not question tradition.
So crispy looking. Your tradition's very different from ours?
Our ways are not the ways of the lowland cities.
You want to say that again after you've shaven your freaking twiddly mustache? Well, I think I'm gonna explore.
We do not appreciate lowlanders looking about our home as though it was some sort of zoo.
Yeah, well, if you'll excuse me then, I'm just gonna go explore.
You may trade for supplies at the shop if you wish. Then I suggest you and your companions leave.
Did it just get a lot colder, or is it just me?
He obviously doesn't want us around, but I'm just, like, asserting my presence anyways. Now, it's weird that this is, like, a one-time town, and it's hardly a town at that, yet it still looks a lot more like a traditional village than Redcliffe, or even Denerim. It's honestly not bad looking at all, it's kind of pretty. Of course, that's just me having a natural affinity for Nordic architecture, snowy regions in general. As long as the snow's not up to your knees, it's not bad. Being cold kind of sucks too, but this is a video game, so you don't have to worry about that. Snow is just like snowballs and snowmen and slides and wonderful music. Some bloody wood. Bet people cook their meals here. Altar appears to have been used recently. A pool of blood remains running over the sides of the dark river. Rivulet? Is that what you call, like, a channel in the wood to bleed the blood out into the sink over here?
I was not expecting to find something so unsettling.
Used for food preparation, perhaps?
That's what I'm thinking, man. It's... Does meat bleed that much? You realize it's a living animal, right? You're not going to get prepackaged meat from the store. Of course it bleeds that much.
I'm just trying to be optimistic. The other explanation is slightly more disturbing.
Oh. Someone killed your boy. Oh no.
This village is not quite what it seems, is it?
There's like a freaking 5-polygon knife here. Doesn't even have the texture on it properly. Like, it's got a gray blade and a kinda less gray handle.
Let's get started. Allow me. I could do that for you.
Barbarian mace. Explains everything.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Barbarians. Else would they be cannibals? I'm not strong enough to bash it open or as a wood.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Oh. I think discovering that makes everyone immediately hostile. Which is shitty, because, you know, that was the first house that I could have went to. So, that merchant that I could have traded with, he maybe had something cool. I have no idea what he had. Because all the mystery's gone now, right? These are cultists. Very clearly. I feel pretty bad that I'm just slaughtering unarmed and unarmored people, but what are you gonna do? Cultist. Obviously.
What is it the right thing? You should run like that.
What's weird though is that if the church is in session right now and these guys are cultists, a religious community, Why are there so many people not in the church?
On it.
There is much to do. As you say.
Oh. Says you shouldn't have done that.
As you wish.
So what do you think will happen to all those people we left behind? Lothering.
Some of them will find their way to Denerim. Many will die, as the Maker wills.
Don't you wish you could have stayed there? To help more people, I mean.
Only
If
two
the blight
options.
isn't
Definitely
stopped,
no one went to
Everyone
Kirkwall.
will die. This is the greater good we're serving, both of us, right here.
So it's all right to let some people die for the greater good? I'm not so sure about that. I felt bad leaving all those people there, all panicked and helpless.
You're doing what you must, Alistair. There will be worse to come yet. You will need to steel yourself. You know this.
I've never been very good at that. The steeling myself part. I find it better sometimes to just be a little weak. I'm all right with that. Really.
I don't believe you. And either way, it's not as if any of us has a choice.
I've never heard of any village out this way. Is this place even on the proper map?
Let's get started.
On our map. It's the only one that exists.
Is it just me or you think you have a chance?
Dog, you better have something to help. Garden over there, Alistair. Oh, yeah. Love how he just confirms by chopping his head off.
This should be easy enough.
Speaking of cutting off heads, I was playing the Ghost of Tsushima, very beautiful game, right? And my brother, he was disappointed that, you know, despite how awesome the swordplay looks,
you have to be the first one I can
you never
honestly say
dismember
I really
anybody,
like.
right?
Why, thank you, Alistair.
I guess they did
I am
that
quite
as
touched.
like a
I
stylistic
like
choice.
you too, Alistair. I imagine my son would have grown up to be someone
It's out
like
of
you.
respect for
Your
your
son?
enemy or whatever that you
I
keep
thought
your
you said
body
you were never
intact.
married.
That's true.
But I got
I
to a
never
moment
have
in the
been.
game where I finally did cut someone's
Then
head
this
off.
wasn't
It's like a special
before
technique you
joined
can do to
Circle.
like
I
intimidate
joined
the
the
people
circle
around
at the
you.
age of 9. So, no.
I thought that was pretty
You still
cool.
like me?
Yes.
They made it a mechanical
wouldn't
thing to do
Good.
something so gruesome
It
that
appears you
no
got
human
away
should
from the
actually be
Chantry just
doing.
in time.
I guess you could say the mechanic works very similar to how it does in like the Middle Earth games.
This should be easy.
You can like press Y from stealth to brutalize someone, scare the shit out of the orcs. If you do this mid-combat, because stealth is for pussies. Guessing this is maybe for Liliana, and she's got jewels in her hair, right? Yeah, for real it is. There seems to be no consequence
I
for
could do
getting
that.
caught in any given mission unless they really want you to be stealthy.
Let's get started.
Allow me. I can do that for you.
And then you know, you're constantly reminded how being a sneaky, stabby boy is like dishonorable, and you don't want to be dishonorable.
This should
And
be easy
normal
enough.
combat's just way funner, so like, you know, fuck off, Sony. We're trying to sell me third-person action adventures with stealth elements and crafting elements. We're not doing either of the things. Anyways, that's a small tangent. I'm still working on the game. I think I'm about halfway through it. I've covered half of the island, though. In Act 2, the section seems to be like a lot more narrow, so I'm kind of working my way through it a lot quicker than the first part. It's like a big open island area. So it's hard to gauge how much of it's really left. Having a great time with it, though. I hope to talk more about that later. I do have some other things to actually talk about, but I'm trying to wait until we got through this before we get into anything like that.
As you wish.
While on the topic of stealthy bullshit, though, I got like a bonus coupon discount gift card, whatever, with one of my Christmas gifts for the Ubisoft store Uplay, which I don't usually go on because, you know, Ubisoft just has all their stuff on Steam, so I usually just look in the one place, right? But, you know, since they introduced their subscription service, which lets you play all their things, like, the day they come out, I guess that they've sort of devalued their games, because I was able to get all 3 of the recent action RPG Assassin's Creed games for, like, $60. Something like that. 65, maybe. And that's pretty slam and deal considering that Valhalla, like, came out this month. Sometime in December. I guess it's not December anymore, but that's a full price game, and I just got, like, all 3 of them for basically the price of one. I thought that was a pretty insane deal. I think that you can buy all of the Assassin's Creeds they've ever done for like 120 or something. It's also pretty insane too. Not that I think you'd ever need that much Assassin's Creed in your life. I enjoy them, but I tapped out a while ago. 2 is a masterpiece, so if you haven't played any of them, pick that one.
As you wish.
We are blessed beyond measure. We are chosen by the holy and beloved to be her guardians. This sacred duty is given to us alone. Rejoice, my brethren, and prepare your hearts to receive her. Lift up your voices and despair not, for she will raise her faithful servants to glory when her...
Ah, welcome. I heard we had a visitor wandering about the village. I trust you've enjoyed your time in Haven so far?
I just murdered all the people in your village, my guy.
Perhaps. But staying hidden means staying protected. And we must protect Haven and our charges at all costs. We don't owe you any explanations for our actions. We have a sacred duty. Failure to protect her would be a greater sin. All will be forgiven.
Oh. Right into the fight. I guess that's how the rest of this went. I don't think I've ever gotten through this place the way they intended you to. Probably walking up to the church. Walking in on the sermon, maybe. I doubt there's a way to handle this whole thing peacefully. I guess we technically are going to side with them by the end of this quest. But I still don't think there's any way to get around murdering half the town.
As you wish.
Cultist medallion, wow. That dragon? I don't have wings, but... brick wall.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Ring of Faith. Okay, ring. Silver bar. Revered father's robes. That's not a revered mother. I guess that's the first sign this place is no good. Encouraging misogyny. Revered mother is the only role that they have. You can't take that away from them.
Let's get started.
Allow me. I could do that for you. Your wish.
It's restricted. Oh. It doesn't add the spell power bonus, but stats are about this shit. Not comfortable with Wynne wearing this. Brick wall. I think that medallion we picked up was like a key. So imagine we insert it into a socket here or something.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Brother Gino.
Who are you? They've sent you to finish it.
I'm here to help.
You don't know how glad I am to see someone who isn't from this village. The leg's not doing so well, and I can't feel my foot.
Can't feel my foot at all. Should I amputate?
Thank you. That feels much better. I don't have time to rest now. I'm so close. The urn is just up that mountain.
The urn? You mean it's real? For real?
My research led me to Haven, and I have heard the villagers talking. I know the urn is here. Haven lies in the shadow of the mountain that holds the urn. There is an old temple there built to protect it. The door is always locked, but I know what the key is. Irik wears a medallion that opens the temple door. I've seen what he does with it.
Oh. Medallion I picked up, yeah.
Yes, that is your key. Take me to the mountainside, and I will show you.
Alright.
Ah, good. Help me up here. I'll try not to slow us down.
Yep. Maybe you should have thought about that before you let me cut your foot off. And temple. Some ice. It's doing that thing again, like with the ghosts, how it just blends together, making some areas look a little weird. You know, this is like 10%, but that's like 30% because it's got 3 things overlapping.
Here we are. Give me the medallion, and let's see if I remember. Yes. See, it can
That area is probably less like because there's probably like...
And there. A key to open the way.
They cut that midsection away since you wouldn't see those faces anyways. But it's the same premise, really. Looks different opened up like that, like a flower or something, not just a alien.
Now, where does this go?
Let's go in the hole, maybe? Alright.
Oh, what I would give to have seen this hall in all its splendor, as it was meant to be. Still, sweep away the ice and the snow, and traces of beauty remain.
I don't know, man. It just looks like a bunch of rocks to me, but I think I like it. Stay alert.
I'm
Told
sorry.
us about.
I was a little distracted. I apologize.
And I'm dead.
These carvings were created just after Andraste's death, and they may reveal things about her life that we do not yet know. I think I need more time to study these statues and carvings.
Oh, stay out of trouble.
I could not keep up with you with my injuries. I should be safe. I don't think there are any villagers here. Go. I will be all right. Perhaps my destiny was only to lead you to the Urn.
Yep, stay out of trouble again.
I'll be right here if you need me. Now I need something to write on.
You bring paper, you jerk. Alright, well, we are now in the dungeon.
Maker's breath.
Right.
Look at it all.
By the shifting skies of the Fade, this is magnificent.
I can't believe all
It's
this
pretty
is
cool,
still
honestly.
standing. This temple must be thousands of years old.
Like Dark Souls. Bonfire. Cultist. Fight him. Okay, so there was a basement that we go into later. I think that's where the next conversation is.
This should be easy enough.
For now, it should all just be we're free to talk about whatever. Unless it's stuff that's not safe for Twitch, but do that right. Nope, not. It's weird to think that I've maybe said things that I really shouldn't have, which probably not, honestly. And, you know, I've just gotten away with it because I did. I don't think you necessarily have to do about that kind of thing. That's why it almost the same thing. We got nothing to worry about on that front. As long as you're not doing anything actually illegal, they'll just like use the algorithm to bury your video.
This should be easy enough. As you wish.
It's different here though. I'm somehow supposed to be more conscious of what I'm saying when I'm doing it off the top of my head than when I'm creating a scripted video. today. Right, so accident happened Black Friday, 25th of November, I think that is. So it's been roughly over a month. Took about a month to get the whole insurance stuff worked out, but I was looking for that whole period anyways, because I need a car. Most of the people I tried to talk to never got back to me. And I did go and check out a few, but they're just... nothing's as nice as the vehicle I had, which is makes it all the sadder, because, like, I wasn't the one who caused that accident, you know? I just lost a fucking amazing car that was old, so I didn't get a lot of money for it. In great condition, it was a luxury vehicle. And that was... nothing was gonna compare unless someone was going to spend a lot of money, but as a young adult, I don't have a lot of money.
On it. Let's get started.
I finally found something. Only slightly outside of my price range, but you know what? It's got enough newer features that I'm okay with dropping that extra 1,000 on it.
Right.
The interior is nearly identical despite it being a different manufacturer, so I'm pretty happy with that. It should be an easy thing to adjust to. Still gotta take care of the paperwork tomorrow because it's Sunday, of course, so, you know, all the government buildings are closed. I couldn't get that taken care of just yet. But really, just in time, because I have to go back to work on Tuesday.
Let's get started.
So, fate just took a really... picked the really worst time to do all this. Because, you know, it was Christmas time, I was already spending a ton of money, and then I couldn't bring myself anywhere to get gifts. So I kind of had to, like, crap out halfway through with that. And then, of course, the mail service is incredibly unreliable, so I'm still waiting on the paperwork I have to fill out for the rest of the insurance claim. It's possible it'll even get lost, like, I don't know what's going on with that.
This should be easy enough.
So yeah, it feels pretty relieving that I finally got something that I'm happy with. Still, I feel like the weight is coming off me until I've got that paperwork done. God knows how. You know, knowing me, I do like the classic tough guy motto of when things are at their worst, you laugh, and then when it's all over, you can finally cry. So I've just been like stone-faced this whole past month. And I'm sure all the wow, I could have fucking died is all just gonna hit me once I put that thing in the middle. I'm not looking forward to that feeling.
Let's get started. On it.
Coincidentally, the car that got destroyed belonged to my grand aunt. I guess that's what you call your granddad's sister, right? Belonged to her originally. Died. She's now in the process of getting evicted from the house and she lives forever. But kind of a crazy old bitch. Yeah, she couldn't ever hold on to
On it.
a good boyfriend very long. She's in a bad boyfriend. Her first husband was abusive. That was that. Anyways, she's like going insane. And now she's like squatting in the house that she's supposed to have been evicted from a while ago. And she's like trying to take everything in there, keep it for herself, despite it Wilt saying otherwise. And yeah. It's really sad to see her in that state since she used to be my neighbor when I was a kid. I lived in the house right next to hers. And now the family just wants to completely cut ties with her. So it's like coincidental that the car got destroyed. Like I don't even have to be grateful for that anymore.
Right.
Real shame, but we've already been keeping her distance for a while. She got like pretty pissed when I grew up and stopped going to her house for Halloween. It's not like I was going anywhere else. I didn't have friends. I just stopped doing trick-or-treating, alright? I'm like freaking... I think I was like 14 when I stopped, which is already a little pushing it, isn't it? Oh. They fighting Mr. Janativi? Oh my god. Holy shit. Casting a spell, probably something not good. It's the only kind of spell. Save our boy.
You'll never know what hit him! Time for a little cleanup! On it.
Died. That was close, but lost anyways. So... I finally played Hades. Got a lot of awards, as you'd expect from Supergiant. It's just a great game. Playing it for about a week. I didn't necessarily want to buy it on sale, but I did. I saved like 5 beans. More than enough, really. Worth every penny. So I didn't play Transistor, but I believe that was probably the first attempt at a roguelike. It's strange to see they're still doing like the top-down camera angle. They haven't really gone from that. Not that that would necessarily be a good thing. I'm sure it'd be a bit of a big change for the artist, who always does fantastic work. Yeah, there's no problems with that. I can say, though, that the combat feels very fluid. All the actions just chain together very seamlessly, very agile. There's no block, you're just dodging around. Keeps you on your feet.
This should be easy enough.
As far as roguelike go, I'd say this is definitely on the more approachable side, in that it's kind of easy in comparison. You actually win pretty often, I feel. There are a lot of people like that I've never actually seen the proper end for the Gungeon. I've never gotten to the end even once. Or the Binding of Isaac. I've never beaten Satan, who is like the 3rd end boss. But in Hades, I believe I've won 10 times, and I'm currently on like a 7-win streak. And I actually got to the credits today, just literally hours ago. So I'm doing great. The game has like modular difficulty after you've done your first run. Active punishment, which has to turn on modifiers at your own discretion, and you get rewarded for each one you put on. So you can just like gradually trickle them on and increase your rewards to power yourself up on other things later. Very fair. As I said, Supergiant games that you can expect all the other titles that thus far. As far as presentation goes, beautiful art, beautiful music, great voice acting, great story.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action!
Let's keep getting wrecked here. I will say that build variety seems a bit homogenized, I suppose. Right, it works on like a blessing system, so you'll go to a god and he'll give you a blessing that'll affect one of your actions. So like your not your auto attack, your main attack now slows it down, or it has a chance to crit. And then one ranged attack called your cast. It now has one of those dimension effects where you transform into like a wave. Those ones definitely have a lot more variety, and there's something else like your dash, your special move, which is basically the weapon you're using. And also a call ability, which is unique to whichever. So for the most part, it feels like you're playing more or less the same, despite having different weapons equipped. Because like the boon effects stay more or less the same. And gameplay is very much between them either.
Right.
There is a shield weapon, which is you fight with a shield like Captain America, and I love it. It does technically have a block mechanic, because it's the only weapon in the game that has it. I end up not using the block at all, because I don't rely on something
Right.
which has worked out for me. I think a lot of my wins are actually with the shield, because I made mine very valuable.
Can't die like this. Excellent.
After you've unlocked all the weapons, I think you
Another day
finally get to spend a resource that you've been gathering for no reason up to that point to like change what the weapon does and its appearance. Each one has like 4 variants, so you can only do 3 at first, and I don't know how you unlock the 4th one. Probably just level up all the others. And they all drastically change how the thing actually plays. Like, with the shield, for example, I had never used the block, but there's one that makes the bull rush ability a lot more powerful. I'm currently using the one where you just throw it, and it's like a spinning blade thing that just stays out. Which I think is pretty busted, honestly. Yeah, I think that those specifically drastically change how you use them. Like with the bow, for example, I never used the special ability, which is like a spread shot. But one of them makes it so all the arrows you fire from the spread shot sneak out whichever target you last hit. Like, it's actually useful. And that's the only way I like press Q.
If it goes near, I think you have a chance.
Same thing goes with the sword, the weapon that you start with. I have one that makes it so when you use your special, you get like a big bonus to your crit chance. So now I'm actually pressing it, because before I just thought it was kind of slow and didn't do as much damage as the normal attack. Which just very much comes down to luck. Like sometimes you just get only boons that affect your special or your auto attack, and you'll just end up ignoring your other mechanics. That's just the nature of RNG. Similar in the lack of variety is the keepsake mechanic, where like there's sort of a social, I want to say dating sim, but that's giving it like a little too much depth mechanics, where like you talk to the characters and give them gifts and stuff to learn more about them and get bonuses for yourself. And it's the first time you give someone a gift, they'll give you something that you can equip. You only have one of them, they'll give you some kind of bonus for whatever area you're in. And for the most part, with the gods specifically, there's just like, the next thing you get will be from them, and it has a chance to be like way more powerful. So I end up like not using those unless I have a specific build in mind, like I'm trying to min-max. Like with the spinning shield, I like to get one that makes it so that shield slows or deflects attacks. So I just throw it on an enemy and now I'm invincible as long as I'm standing in the shield. Or the enemy's wrecked, because now they're getting poisoned or slowed or whatever while they're stuck in it.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Those are good for that. There are a few that have more unique mechanics. But I feel like you're encouraged to change them out frequently, so like the ones that stack over time don't hold as much usefulness as I'd like. Still though, when you combine all these things together, there is a decent amount of variety in how you play between your runs, despite all the things being mechanically similar.
Books. Oh, I would love to spend a day here.
Old books.
On
You
it.
think any of those might still be readable?
I don't suppose anyone would mind if I borrowed a book or two.
So, you know, despite having seen the credits, I feel like there's a lot of content that
Let's
I'm
get started.
yet to
Allow.
discover.
I could do that for you.
Especially with some of the premium resources that just take out time to grind. You don't purchase them with real money, you just have to like use those punishments that I was talking about earlier to get these rare resources. Like there's this extra gate thing that sounds like it'll take me to some kind of challenge room. I have no idea what these challenge rooms are because I haven't bought it yet. It's very expensive. Otherwise, you can, like, decorate the house that you go back to in between runs, which has been pretty satisfying, I guess. All of it looks cool from the beginning, but, like, I've just made it look nicer. It feels like a really different place post-credits once you've resolved the primary conflict, but I feel like there's maybe even more that's gonna happen once I get deeper in. Or maybe it's one of those situations where, like, the game was in early access. So maybe they just thought it was finished enough to put it out and they're gonna patch in more content later, or DLC perhaps. I honestly have no idea. I'm satisfied with where it's at right now, though. I've already sunk like 30 hours into it in the past week. Definitely been playing too much of it. So dang addicting, though, especially now that I'm on this freaking winning streak. I just feel unstoppable because I keep turning up the punishments, and I still haven't died. I should also mention that despite there being a lot of weapons, the game picks one at random to have a bonus to the resources in the game. So I usually just pick whichever one has the bonus on it, in case you're the kind of person who's indecisive. I didn't even talk about the mirror. One of the resources you get is the earliest and easiest way to power yourself up in between runs. You just spend things on permanent character upgrades, like do additional backstab damage. Here's more health. Here's a chance to find rare stuff easier. Eventually you'll get like B-sides to all those with different effects that you can work with. And some of them I feel are less useful, but maybe that's just a personal taste thing. Like there's one that makes it so you can die one time per round with no consequences. But the alternative is one that gives you 3 lives, but gives you healing more when you revive. And I personally don't really die until I get to the final area, so one with 3 lives is just a lot more useful to me. However, there is a blessing that gives you, like, bonus damage if you've died in a room. So, like, I can imagine you combine the two together, try to min-max it. Yeah, I feel like I haven't fully dissected all the possible builds, but with the shield I've definitely found, like, the optimal way to play.
On it.
I haven't even tried the freaking rail yet. I don't want to spoil what that is. We'll just keep it as the rail. The random thing is just somehow never picked it, which, again, the nature of RNG. Though I've never tried it, but good. Premium resources are grinding out on a by-weapon basis, so if your things are getting too hard for you with one, you can switch to a different one and go to, like, I need to take care of these archers first. So yeah, great time. I doubt I said anything new. Everybody just says that it's amazing, but yeah, the game is in fact crack. I guess as far as improvements go, you'd have to compare it to Transistor, but I didn't play that, so I have to go back to the first game, Bastion, which yes, it's massively improved since then. And, you know, Bastion's still a fantastic game, so that's saying something. How do you improve on fantastic? Also, everything about it is, like, so modular and bite-sized that, like, it's a perfect portable experience if you have a Nintendo Switch. You can even quit in the middle of runs and you'll be able to start back from where you were, no problem. Came in clutch today.
Ready. They'll never know what hit him.
Since they like kept that velocity with like the story segments too, you only get a little bit of the story at a time. It trickles it out to you. I think that helps
Weapons at the ready.
interest. Like you have a reason to keep coming back, but it also doesn't just stop you for like 20 minutes at any point. Perfect for Pokemon, exactly how it should be. I feel like I have heard a lot of people saying that it's like made a big stride in what a roguelike should be by doing the storytelling that way, but about a year ago maybe I talked about Wayward Souls Curse of Shadows, which handles things very similarly, despite it coming out beforehand. I just thought I'd shout that game out. It definitely doesn't do it as well, but like it tried, and I'm sure Children of Morta does something similar too. I haven't tried yet, but it was in this month's Humble Select things, so I will soon. It's like a good co-op game. Bonfire lit.
This should be easy enough.
Which one is it? This heroic defense? Elemental resistance. Alright, so she already cast it on someone. Hopefully me.
Let's get started.
The glyph of pie.
Right.
Here comes trouble! I suppose violence.
As you wish.
Oh. How close we are to going to the cave site. I played X-Morph things, which I believe I also got some time ago. Well, it's on my Steam wish list beforehand, I just never got around to buying it, so, you know, sometimes things work out like that. So, as you might guess by the name, it's tower defense, I guess. It looked very similar to Anomaly Warzone Earth, which was a tower offense. Like, you play the troops marching against the tower formation. And art style looked very similar. Hold on, cat wants out. Right, the art seemed very similar, which is kind of just like hyper-realistic, probably Unreal Engine. But it was in fact a different developer. And yeah, this one is normal tower defense, but there's also like bullet hell elements, because you control the spaceship, right? You're playing the aliens.
I think we work well together.
As you wished. On it.
So things start out pretty basic. You only have one kind of tower to set down, and you set up these laser walls to extend enemy paths. Your goal is obviously to keep them away from your core, destroy them, which again starts out pretty simple. You get graded for the mission with a gold, silver, whatever, based on how many times you died, how much damage your core took, how much time you took, and how much crap you collected, which you can't even do by default, so you're probably gonna have to replay the first mission. Which after you've gotten to the end of the game, and you do, it's just like, it just keeps giving you tutorials so you can't skip. Then you do get to it, and you're like all super powerful now, so just a joke. In between missions, you get points from whatever you did that you can spend on upgrading your ship and things. Mostly new weapon types, but also like an auto-fire drone, the scrap collect mechanic, faster move speed, stuff like that. And you can also buy new towers.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action.
Which is a huge difference, really. Each one is pretty unique in its functionality, with the exception of the flame mortar, which is basically the flamethrower but long. They all have their own effects, though. I definitely used every tower.
Right.
As far as the story goes, I wasn't expecting, like, anything at all, and that's more or less what I got. I was expecting the dialogue to maybe be a bit cheesier, campier. I wanted them to have more fun with it, but they just took it very seriously the whole time, I felt. Voice acting is definitely a mixed bag. Who's the Colonel from Metal Gear Solid? Is it Roy Campbell? I think that's his name. Whoever the commanding general is in this game is doing like his very best impression of that guy, though I don't think that he is him. Everyone else is like mixed bag. So anyways, things start out pretty basic. Aliens come to the planet, surrounded by the police and stuff, and then they send in the weakest troops they got, and you annihilate all of them. But at the end of the first mission, they send out a boss fight. But it's you not realizing that you can move your turrets around yet. You probably end up just treating it like a bullet hell game, and you just go fight shit. Pretty fun, honestly. You also learn that you can destroy buildings from doing that. You can like drop on the big Spider-Man thing that they send at you. But you can also use that mechanic to artificially extend pathways while using powers. Which I thought was a pretty cool mechanic. It's also really cool seeing the buildings get destroyed. Like, I think it's procedural destruction. In fact, the game opens up with you, like, smashing some ghetto-ass Ethiopian poor man's village. Or the explosion of the buildings. And your narrator, he talks really slow. Besides for a lot of this it started to wear on me after a while. I didn't like listening to your cores talk to you. And like, you're some kind of robot integrated entity with several consciousnesses. So like, it's not emotional whatsoever. Very bland. But whatever, the game itself is fun, I guess, for tower defense. The bullet hell stuff helped keep me on my toes, but eventually, if you're collecting scrap at a decent rate, you should get like enough bonus towers out that you shouldn't have to worry about anything. In fact, I found myself like challenging myself with unique layouts to try and have a bit more fun. Like sometimes I'll try and funnel all the guys into one lane, which requires me to make a big convoluted maze. Or there was one mission where it was a completely open field, so I actually had to build my own walls. And I like set up a death spiral that went across the whole map. It would take him like 10 minutes to get past it. It's ridiculous. Actually, I ended up just destroying them. But it's just very powerful. Sometimes if you just want to like focus all your defenses on one side, you can, and like take care of the other side all by yourself. Each weapon is supposed to have its own advantage, but I found that the laser is just all around the best in every situation. So once I finally decided to upgrade that, like I got it last after that. yeah, I just didn't use anything else really.
We have done well!
On it.
There is a co-op campaign you can do.
That's Mafarat, Andraste's
which
husband,
has
the one
different
who betrayed her to the Imperium.
Mafaras was so jealous of Andraste's power that he betrayed
different
her
wave
to the
layouts,
Imperium.
but the same maps, and like you guys split resources, so you don't share a resource bar. You get your own things, and you have to actually communicate if you want to win. But now you have 2 ships, so like you're that much more deadly. If you want a little extra challenge out of the game, you can theoretically just plug in a controller and then not use the second player and like do the 2-man missions alone. Otherwise, there's like an endless survival mode you can do instead of the campaign. I didn't touch it all. I had my fill of it by the end of the campaign. Took me a decent amount of time. Each mission was roughly half an hour. Some of them went more towards an hour. And I think there were like 19 missions, so I'd say roughly 15 hours total for just the campaign. The boss fights made it pretty fun, I'd say. Things did get a little more ridiculous towards the end, I guess, despite it not leading into the cheesy dialogue. Like, they go to Japan and they bring out a big mech as their final last resort.
Enemies approaching.
It's a pretty tough fight.
Right.
I had to redo that mission a few times. However, it's called the Mecha Tor, which is like, you know, a bull, a Taurus. But it made it really easy for me to call it a Mechatard, which is just wonderful when it's your enemy. That's probably the only laugh I got out of the whole thing,
though. Off I go.
So, all in all, the game was alright. The tower defense genre itself can be very fun and satisfying, and but it's also like stale at a certain point, so you need to try and do something new, which they did. And I feel like maybe making your ship so powerful kind of took away from the fact that it was a tower defense. Like, you can possibly do this whole thing as a tower. But, you know, I give him credit for trying. As things stand, though, my favorite innovative game in the genre is definitely Orcs Must Die. I cannot get enough of that. Let's go back to it. Real shame what happened with their MMO. They canceled it sometime at the beginning of last year. I tried when it came out. It had like a PvP mode, which I liked, and then it had an endless mode, which was and wanted you to grind out for premium resources, which they focused on because that's how most of the progression in the game was centered around. Because you can't like give your characters objectively stronger traps in a PvP mode. That'd be bullshit. So eventually they kind of just axed that mode, despite it being the only reason that I wanted to play the game. Really sad. 2 is still a great co-op experience. Anyways, back on topic. Game was alright. A decent amount of time out of it. I liked it enough to go back and get the gold on every mission. Didn't like it enough to play survival just for funsies though. So I'd put it in like the 6-7 range probably. However, they are working on another game, and it looks kind of cool. I actually saw it before I even played the game, like it was already on my wish list. I forget what it's called, but basically you go to like an alien world, you're in a mech suit, and it's just like a survival RPG base building thing. So I guess you can compare it to like Factorio maybe? I don't think I got a place still. Still got their good art style, but you know, since you're not doing pure tower defense things, they put more depth into your character building. Like, if it's like what X-Morph was, then it should be fun. And you know, I love base building. Just straight city builders with no army management, one of my favorite things. I love the settlers. I love Anno. Like Frostpunk. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
This should be easy enough.
I don't know. I'd probably recommend Anomaly over it, though. I think Anomaly did its own unique things that had a good puzzle element to it. It had a sequel which improved on it in a lot of ways.
As you wish. Right.
They didn't leave any loot piles. It's weird that all of them got the boss health bars considering how many we fought. Will, power, and probably strength. I feel like I need to increase my damage a bit more. And we don't have anything to buy because we're holding out for champion. I know it's unlocked, but we don't get it until we complete this quest, so I'm trying to not like use it. Really, it's kind of frustrating that like you can end up with a character that's way stronger than he should be at this point in the game just because you've played it before. Which maybe they did that intentionally so that you would replay the game and like get through it easier the next time, see all the origin stories, but I don't think that they put enough of that kind of thing in for it to work out. Like if there was maybe a shared stash so you can give your guys OP loot from the get-go, that'd be awesome. But of course they didn't do it because that would break the balance, which is what they're doing by leaving it open like this.
Let's get started.
I guess I should also point out that in traditional D&D, to unlock a prestige class, you normally have to fulfill a special condition like you do to unlock these ones. But, you know, that's on a by-character basis, so it's like a big part of their story and how you unlock them. And I feel like they should have kept that mechanic entirely intact, rather than gamifying it like that.
Right.
I should only be able to be a Reaver if I chose to make the bad decision.
Let's get started.
Something that they did do to simplify things for us is, you know, turning this into just like a perk that you pick, adds another skill tree. Because in traditional D&D, you level up on a by-class basis. So, like, you'll make a warrior, and you'll level up and get their level up parameters every time you level as a warrior. And then if you wanted to switch to a sorcerer later, you'd be able to change that and be a level 1 sorcerer and a level 20 warrior or whatever. And your character would retain his health stats and stuff that you got from leveling as a warrior. But now he's just a level 1 wizard. And it works the same way with the prestige classes, so you need to be like level 10 to unlock the Cavalier. And then you'll be a level 1 Cavalier. And yeah, it doesn't just sound kind of complicated. Think Dragon Quest Worlds, the MMO. Is it called Dragon Quest? No, that's a different franchise. What is it called? I don't know what I'm talking about, though. It's like a Flash popular one. Adventure Quest, that's what it's called. I was thinking of Dragon Fable, which is made by the same people. Yeah, they handled leveling the same way. I remember I started as a mage, and I became a barber, and then I became like a space marine, or whatever the fuck was going on later. I played it back when I didn't really have a gaming PC. Just as I'm sure most of you played RuneScape, and probably don't do that much anymore. In RuneScape, there wasn't enough to it. It was probably just like infinite grind.
You should run while you can.
And like the PvP is bullshit too, because you have to go into a place where you lose your loot that you just spent forever grinding for, but I guess since the whole game is work simulator, it doesn't really matter that you lost your armor or whatever, because you can just smoke more and it'll probably be better because smithing level raised or whatever. Really, the game just became like its own actual world with an insane economy that grew so big that it affects our actual real-world economy. And like the jobs in RuneScape have become actual jobs. It's pretty insane.
Let's get started.
I know in like the South American world specifically, it's just like the only way to get by. Because they have like rebels all over the place. It's very unsafe to go and actually do real work. rebels and cartels, neither of which you want to get mixed up with.
It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be. Desperation is ugly pushing.
So anyways, by switching to this more standard ad perk tree system, it made it so it was, rather than being a level 40 character with four different level 10 classes, you're level 40 character, you have 40 skills from whatever classes you've unlocked. It's a lot easier to understand.
On it.
I believe Baldur's Gate does do it the traditional way, which probably one of the reasons I can't get into it. I just think it's too dated. UI is cumbersome. There are so many walls of text, you're probably not going to get anywhere if you don't read the manual. I know it's one of the greatest games ever made. I've played games similar to it and enjoyed them. It just needs like a serious update or a mod or something for it. I know Solon was trying to remake Baldur's Gate 2 in this engine. I think the project was abandoned though. It's been too long. Makes me sad because like the week after we finished playing The Witcher, somebody put out like a whole campaign they've been working on forever. Really cool features I never really got to get into, and I would have loved to give that a try before I uninstalled it. She can use an injury kit yet. This. Coughing blood. Yuck, man.
Yes, my friend.
Apparently coughing blood's like a surefire sign that you're about to fucking die. Like TV and movies always use it as a dramatic thing, like, oh no, I'm seriously injured, or oh, I'm kinda sick. But in the real world it means, no, it's already too late for you, man. It's like a really big contrast from how it's portrayed. I think this is probably the fight. You know, go right for the mate. I'll start hitting him.
As you wish.
Oh god, inventory's almost full.
You crossed our hands.
No, not even halfway through this. We're almost halfway through it. The second part's more puzzle-based. It's not all fighting.
This should be easy.
There is a boss fight. It's optional, and might have to come back for it, but in the game that we should be able to do it. Hope anyway. It is one of the hardest fights in the game. So I suppose we could just die. Definitely gonna go at it for an hour before I give up.
Sometimes. I'll try to be merciful. On my way. I'll do it. Push them back!
Yeah, let's reload. In hindsight, that sounds pretty ridiculous of me, but you know, we played Alundra. Our final session was like 7 hours long, and at least 2 of those were spent on the boss. I had to redo the whole last dungeon because I didn't save. I didn't know it was going to throw us right into the boss room without a save point, just because the boss room was at the entrance. I was just so frustrated. I was like, okay, I remember this whole dungeon. Alright guys, I'm smart. I got the photo memory. We can do it. And like, I did get through it in at least half the time, but still. The fight itself was just ridiculously hard. It broke me. So many good games like that just end horribly like that. I don't know why it is. I think that the final boss should be harder than anything else in the but a lot of older titles, that just means it has to be even the freaking Ashwell game we talked about recently, the boss was just like it's like they wanted you to go back and ask rank all the missions to get more health increases and stuff. Come back when you're at max level, then you can do this kid. Like East 1, the whole game, they use a bump combat system, so you're just to run into guys to damage them. It's a little more complicated than that, basically. And then the final boss, he gets to destroy parts of the floor, right? So while you're avoiding his attacks and trying to run by him, your area that you can run ridiculous. However, it's completely RNG which tiles get destroyed, so it's possible that you get stuck on one tile spot where you can't dodge anymore. Big reason that boss fight took me like 5 hours to and I guess I'm just insane enough to not give up. Midway through that game, the boss that took me like 7 as well. Not because of any bullshit, it was just really hard. And I grinded out to the max level before I even fought him. In the middle of the game, the experience cap was just that low. There was a lot more equipment to keep you like growing stronger throughout the game, but then when you get the final boss, you have to downgrade like 2 levels because of plot reasons. he's like only weak to silver tier stuff or whatever. I just made things all the worse. It's a very frustrating experience.
On it.
It was worth it though, because the second game was a fucking blast. They refined so much of it.
Started.
Get this, please? What's her doing? Sold that dragon. Auto kill. It should land now. How's our boy doing over? Not doing much. In fact, he's running away. Yes.
This should be easy enough.
Everybody stay put. Let the combat encounter in. Okay, let's go loot these corpses.
As you wish.
There's no loot. Oh. Oh well. We have in combat.
Let's get started.
Not a big deal. No. I'll just sell anything that doesn't have cultist in its name.
Right.
You ready to thank that mage, my boy?
Let's get started.
Been surrounded. To help, I think this does a AoE.
think we work well together.
Wouldn't even be mad if he did, it'd look too cool. In Civilization.
This should be easy enough.
Send like one samurai up against a band of barbarians, just swats them all down.
Let's get started.
As you wish.
Oh, that's still going. Dog? Dog gonna need to revive? I think I picked up the Blood Mage sword, right? Oh, spoilers for loot that we're not gonna use, but there's a cool sword that's for Blood Mages here. I don't remember what it does. Maybe it like reduces the blood cost of spells or something. I'd go as far as to say it's essential for playing. Too bad you can't keep it in Awakening. Constitution, willpower, acid. It's man, it's more constitution, dexterity, I guess. You can hold on to points. He needs willpower desperately. And more passives. Alright, perfect. We're gonna be busted when we finish this chapter.
You need...
How long this part of the map is. I mean, it zooms out pretty far. Just more caves. Pretty tired of those deep roads. And the puzzle area goes by pretty quick for the most part. There's just one room with an actual puzzle. But I feel like I've done it enough times that I kinda have the solution memorized. I don't, but I usually get it pretty quickly. Yeah. Like a general idea of the pattern. Stop that, Mitch. Shit. Alright. Revival? Boy.
Armed and dangerous.
I can so many of them, oh my god. feel like I maybe attracted 2 different encounters at once. I should probably keep my distance.
It's done. Here comes trouble!
Ah, shit.
At your order. Off I go.
As you like.
Whoa, she did this. Get over here. Got more armor diligence. This is a good armor set. This is like a solid mid-tier rank armor for a tank. In fact, it's not too dissimilar from what I'm wearing. And it looks sweet if I remember correctly. This has 24 armor. This has 17. This has health regeneration in addition to health. Fatigue is the same because of the minus 10%, I guess. Right? I can swap it out and just pass. Yeah, same. Looks cool though. Overall, I'd be trading out a decent sized chunk of health for less armor and a small amount of health regen. I don't know if that's worth it. Despite liking that armor a lot.
Right.
Can I please get a life ward? And heal. I didn't want to cast both regens because the life ward does that afterward. Oh. destroy. Iron bark, like garbage bark. Elf flight arrows, more like garbage. Mace, more like garbage. The last one got me because I thought I actually had something creative to say, and I didn't. I was gonna say like dace or something, but that's not a thing. Okay, so one of these leads to the exit and the other leads to more dragon, but I believe that's where the sword is. Not that we're gonna use it, but it'll sell. Not that selling matters, but it kinda does. All that money gets converted into XP when we get this last army man. Just dump it all in them. Like, here's 50 levels, my guy. Enjoy. Oh shit, these are big dragons.
Ready!
Kinda growing wings. I guess they go through like a frog life cycle. Where they're like fish first, they have legs.
Time for a little cleanup!
Scales.
That was, not pleasant.
Do you remember Master Wynne and Hurin? They want exotic materials to work with to be happy. I can just give them a large sum of money and those strike skills, and they can make us a nice set of armor. I don't remember if it's actually any good, though. And as you'd imagine, it has like a crap ton of fire resistance, which is unparalleled. The issue is, what do you fight that uses fire damage aside from the occasional mage? I don't know if the Archdemon even does fire damage. Yes, he shoots purple flames, but that's maybe spirit damage. Or like nature or something. It's also just like red. Just like normal chainmail. Nothing cool about it. The armor value itself is pretty decent though. Before all the DLC existed, I would have always had someone with me. And now there's just too many options. The battle dress fully and songs. Or why I didn't do it yet. I know I said that I was going to consider doing it like mid-game. But, you know, I just want to do a run without the freaking battle dress, alright? I think one of these is like a shortcut back to the room. I guess I should probably go sell stuff at the camp or something. Probably. Looks sketchy. We should all turn back.
Weapons at the ready.
I guess he completely avoided the crushing person. That's pretty cool.
As you wish.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Wooders helm like garbage. It's still not funny, and I'm still saying it. Heavy chainmail boots, have you heard of? Mind. I was gonna see if it would let me destroy them before I even had it in my inventory. Then it would have been funny. But it was not. Eight branching paths! I feel like I'm going the right way. Go the right way.
Have we been turned around? How does anyone navigate these halls?
We seem to be heading...
Pick one direction, keep going. It's simple.
Yes. I think these caverns are going up to the surface.
Lava? Do you think this mountain is about to erupt? Because I don't really want to be here when it does.
This is definitely the correct way. That's why I didn't turn around. Game. Use this. Click on man. On man. Is there an insensitive joke about menstruation here? Guys, I want to die. I literally thought this is the encounter I just avoided. What quick saves are for.
Lava? Do you think this mountain is about to erupt? Because I don't really want to be here when
I
it
see
does.
sulfur, maybe. This place stinks. Oldest arcane warrior. I thought Wynne was the last of her kind now. I'm also pretty sure there are traps all over this place, so let's back it up. Whoa! Hold your ground!
Yes! Is that all you've got? Enough!
Bow here's my guy. Holy crap.
You'll never know what hit.
All right.
Is this bow broken? What's the deal? Doesn't have. Huh? He only able to equip it when he has his. What? Yeah, I'm confused.
Good to go! I never liked this part.
Immediately.
You forced our hand.
Probably good to just send everyone out now. Traps aside. I remember if there's traps or yes, it's possible he has to summon the dragons over there, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do is kill him before he actually casts his stuff. That's the one way to win. Going back to Ghost of Tsushima, it's dishonorable to have wounds facing backwards. That means you stab someone in the back, right? So what I do is I walk up to him, I disable stealth, and I kill him. Run. Because you don't actually have to be like crouched or anything to do assassinations. The enemy just has to be vaguely unaware. So I stab him and I say, honorable.
It's a gotcha!
Like how I was really bad at stealth in the Saboteur.
Let's get started.
Saboteur, how you pronounce it. So I just pop out with my Tommy gun and yell top of the morning to you. Tend to be Jacksepticeye, despite the fact that I never watched any of his videos.
Right.
Spell Weaver. Mana regen combat, that's pretty good. Honestly, it's not a terrible idea to just have it equipped on yourself, even if you don't intend to fight with it. The issue is the AI is going to try and fight with it. Thing here for blood mages, I'm sure of it. Maybe it's a pendant, not a sword. Egg chamber. I don't know what these are doing on the pedestals. Like, are they maybe eating things? Not candles. What's up with the tables in general? Like, this place seems to be ran mostly by dragons, so why is it? Or is this like the breakfast hall?
Right.
Oh, hey, an egg. There it is. Exactly what I thought. Broods. What does that mean? It is a mystery. I'm pretty sure it just reduces the blood cost. It is a pretty big deal. I don't remember if I read the descriptions of what the spells were out loud or if I did that on my own time, but like basically they just kill their party members to do big damage. That's their whole thing. And they, like, they give curses to people that prevents them from healing afterwards, so you can't just, like, turn Alistair into a fucking fountain of youth or whatever. Suck them dry like you wish you could. Right, so when we get outside, I believe there's a door I can take to go back into the main chamber, and from there I can exit to the map and go sell stuff. But since we are approaching 3 hours, that might be a place to stop. I didn't think this would take this long, but it is. And, you know, the next part of the dungeon is going to take at least an hour. And then we have, like, some optional boss fights to do, including Flemeth.
Right.
And, you know, we did most of the side quests in Denarums, so hopefully that'll only be one session, and I have no idea how long the actual endgame invasion takes. But, I don't know, I'm hoping we're looking at, like, 2 or 3 more sessions. And then we'll move on to Awakening. Which will probably be like 2. Shorter. Maybe even 3. a decent length. I just always get through it very quick because your character starts at a very high level. And one of the new skills you unlock is just like literally kill everything that's not worth your time in an area around you for like free. Or like Warcry or something, it just like it just dies. It's below like a level threshold or something.
Stop! You will go no further!
That helmet's epic. Who are you? How can I get a helmet like that?
You do not have the right to demand my name. You have defiled our temple. You have spilled the blood of the faithful and slaughtered our young. No more! You will tell me now, intruder, why you have done all this. Why have you come here?
I'm just looking for the urn, man. I gotta... for an old dude.
You did this all for an ancient relic. Know this, stranger. The prophet Andraste has overcome death itself, and has returned to her faithful in a form more radiant than you can imagine. Not even the Tevinter Imperium could hope to slay her now. What hope do you have?
I have hope that we can be friends since you're actually talking to me instead of trying to slaughter me like every other cultist here.
Would an apology bring back the dead, or clean the blood from these walls? What could you do to... But perhaps there is a way to make up for your recent transgressions.
I just slaughtered everyone you know and love. Faith shall protect you, though.
It may be because I believe in second chances. All of us stumble through the darkness before being found and shown the light. Perhaps, through Andraste's mercy, her greatest enemy will become her greatest champion. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Father Colgrim. I lead the disciples of Andraste. Atop this mountain lie the remains of the mortal Andraste. The urn is watched by an immortal guardian. He is trapped in the past and refuses to accept the risen Andraste. Now the ashes prevent Holy Andraste from fully realizing her new form. They are a remnant of her past incarnation, and she cannot move on as long as they exist.
Okay.
The beloved needs to reclaim the ashes, to make them her own again. All it would take is a drop of her blood. Blood carries power, strength, knowledge! Through it, all the power that is held in the ashes will be returned to Our Lady.
This is actually a subreddit?
The Guardian has foiled all our attempts to reach the urn. He keeps what power remains from the true Andraste. He knows the disciples, and we cannot touch him, for he draws his strength from the ashes themselves. But you could deliver Our Lady what is rightfully hers.
I could just imagine the Grand Cleric if she were here. Her head would explode, I kid you not.
What is this talk of blood and power? And he thinks Andraste is reborn. It is preposterous. Ugh, I do not like this.
There is nothing but madness in his words. He is a fanatic, and a dangerous one. Be warned, he means to lead you astray.
The rewards for performing such a service would be great indeed.
What sort of reward?
You will gain the right to the power of the dragon, the power of risen Andraste herself. The task is simple. I give you a vial of the holy Andraste's blood, and you empty the vial into the ashes. Whatever magic was held in the ashes will be undone, and our great lady will be freed from the shackles of her past life! Once that is done, you will have earned your place as our honored sister.
Okay. Need them to cure a sick man, though.
You only need a small pinch for that. The rest of the power contained in the ashes must be returned to Andraste.
Alright then.
I don't know if I like the idea of us helping this Colgrim.
Take this. The blood of the dragon. You know what you must do.
Ooh, bad idea. Remember the last time you had to drink blood? Only worse.
It'll be alright.
I'm just going to assume you have something amazing and tricky up your sleeve.
Now, I shall beseech the Holy Andraste to let you pass safely into the inner sanctum.
Just ignores that comment. I'm probably gonna con him. So yeah, I think that you can be a dick and fight these guys right away. You will fight them if you don't help, but basically going through that conversation in any manner that isn't provocative will lead to him being like, alright, I'll take that as a maybe. Take the blood.
This should be easy enough.
So I think that we're in the clear then. I just thought it was really weird that they just were like, want to forgive you. Also, if I'm not crazy...
A high dragon is not a joke. We'd best be careful. Real careful.
They say music soothes the savage beast, but I'm not going to test that theory.
Oh, I'm not afraid. It wouldn't want to eat me anyway. Tough and stringy. You, on the other hand, ought to be worried.
Wynne, is this yours?
Oh, my bag of components.
Hey, if I'm not crazy, I think Liliana actually turns against you if you taint the ashes in front of her. Because, you know, she's like crazy religious fanatic. And I think that you can permanently lose her from that, so I should probably kick her out of the party. Since we're leaving. Well, same goes for Alistair. I don't want to break his heart. Bring other people with us, no big deal. It's crazy to decide to make her such a core character, though. Considering that you can kill her. That's maybe a big reason why they had to... why they didn't put in the effort to extend the save file importing to the third game. They moved it to this online thing called the Keep, where you just get to pick the choices on the internet and maybe spoil the entirety of the other games for you. So I guess they maybe removed the possibility that you ever killed her. Like, yeah, you still tainted the ashes, but she wasn't with you, so it's no big deal. Still alive, or maybe she just had plot armor. I don't know.
If there's anything I can do for you, I'm sure you'll...
Oh, I just got a ton of stuff to sell, and then, I suppose that we will be done. Imminent routes. I really don't like these, like, at all. I'll hold on to the greater ones. Fun. But I feel like it regenerates at a satisfying enough rate. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm choking. Choking on dust or something, man. Oh. I'm just gonna say flame coating's probably not very useful. It's always fire damage that has the most resistance. Probably because fire does the most damage on account of burning. Still, I always shy away from picking it in every game ever. It just becomes useless later. Everything's resistant to it. Remember the last time we went to Denham, we ran out of money. Now look at us. Hold on to that. This waistband. Gifts. Young. Right, let's see if Morgan can take advantage. Faith, 2 magic, fire damage. My wedding ring? Skank. Who gave that to you? You can have it, Sten. Oh. Oh. I suppose it would maybe be better for both to share these. Like, spirit resistance is only good when you're fighting shades, but like, one goes down instantly anyway, so whatever. Gifts to give. It's a locket. Price Sten.
You have my thanks.
Dictum, probably working.
Interesting.
What? Everyone likes some.
You have excellent taste.
Boots.
That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you knew I was missing my homeland, but this does the trick nicely. Thank you.
Well, you're the only Antivan I've ever met, so I just thought of you, my guy.
Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And the feet as well. Marvelous.
Oh yeah. I didn't consider a shoe size when I found them. Those are good. So I got sack mead.
That looks fine indeed.
And I have no idea who this amulet's for, and I know that I just gave away one of gifts that I probably shouldn't have, but I feel like this is maybe for her.
Why, thank you so much.
Hey, well, it meant thing. Guess I just got some things to give away then. Those are expert paralysis runes. I'm sure I can upgrade some.
Enchantment?
It's a... And there you have it.
I want it done. And how about expert? Slow, how about expert? Alright, that's probably good. Let's get rid of the rest.
Right.
Baz. Amethyst. Elf. Mush. Rune. Rune 2. One is better.
We are better with every step you take.
Alright, I'm gonna reassemble my party so I don't forget. Probably gonna want nothing at all, really. Augur won't care.
Indeed.
Be proud, I'm sure.
Yes.
Ill content. Oh, that's a horrible composition, but who cares? Sure, all of them need levels. I don't really feel like doing that. Probably run back to wherever I came from. And then I will save and quit. Make progress today. I don't think I was stuck anywhere for any amount of time. So this is just a long dungeon. We even talked about things, so that's good. It makes it easy for me to break these up into sections when I go on, like, long periods of time on a topic.
I think I got it now. Why you claim to forget about that murder? Oh, do tell.
I think that we're out of things to say, so we'll just let this play out and it'll be done.
Embarrassed.
I am embarrassed.
You're a proud one. If I know anything, it's when someone's too proud for their own damn good. And whatever that mage dug up in you, it made you lose control, didn't it? You go on and on about how humans are weak and they die so easily. And you should know, right? Slip up once and they die, just like that.
This is its theory?
I bet you even like the guy. Easier to believe you killed someone you hate, though, huh?
It knows nothing. It knows less than nothing.
About screwing up? I know lots. More than lots. But you just go on thinking whatever you like, stone britches.
Stone pants. That's a savage insult. With that, I'll see you guys later.